Hey, what's going on? Luke here. And every year, there's always a question that everybody asks me, are you going to be doing Supercoach? This year, I'm going to be doing it. Now, it's been a couple of years since I've done it, and I'm a little bit out of the loop. Now, immediately when I made my team, my first thought was, oh, Jason Tamalalo. Usually, he's like the top person. No, not this year. Not this year. He probably hasn't been for a couple of years, but just shows you sort of how far out of the loop I am. I haven't been listening to any podcasts or really been paying attention to what people's stats are. I've kind of just been watching the game for the game, but this year, I thought I'd just try Supercoach again. Now, obviously, with me making a Supercoach, it means I'm going to be showing you the side for this video, as you can tell by the title. But it also means that I did make some leagues. So go and check it out. In the description below, you'll be able to see all the codes to join my leagues. I think I made 4 different leagues, so go ahead, join them. Hopefully, we're going to fill up all the spots. There should be 80 spots available. Well, actually, 76 if you include me. But yeah, plenty of spots for you guys to join. Go ahead and join, and let's see how we go. Now, I'm not going to waste any more time. I've actually got my Supercoach lighted up on my phone, which you can see right now. You got to see the team that I've started with. Now, initially, I don't really know who to pick. And I don't really know, who are the cash cows, or do I want to go for some absolute cheapies? Do I want to go for some worldies? I thought I'd go with some guys who I think are going to improve a lot, but also aren't like guys who may be in and out of first grade. So we're going to go from like fullbacks up to the forwards. I think you already kind of saw the forwards. You can see there right now. But I'm going to start off with that fullback. I had to go James Tedesco. Obviously, there's Tom Trebojevic and all that. I just want to see how he goes to start off the season. He does seem like someone who could be good, and probably based off last season, I'm guessing might be a little bit undervalued. I can't remember what he actually was. I know Pappenhausen was the most expensive one, but Tedesco, I think the Roosters are going to go a lot better in general. That's why I kind of went for a few of these Roosters guys, because I feel like they were scoring pretty well, but yet the team in general wasn't going that well. So I feel like the Roosters guys, I think they're primed for some better scores than what they've got, therefore raising their value. That's just my logic. I don't know if that's actually good Supercoach logic, but just have to bear with me this time, because I probably sound like an absolute novice, which I probably am. Even though I've been playing it since when Fox Sports used to do it back in the day. Maybe like when Kurt Gidley was like the best player. So at least on Supercoach, on Fantasy. So I went for Tedesco. The backup went for Hayes from the Bulldogs, because I think he's going to be starting at fullback, and I think if he's not going to be the fullback, he's at least going to be in the squad somewhere. I think either him or Avarillo are going to be the fullbacks. They'll probably swap between centre and fullback, you know what I mean? I feel like he's going to be there for a little while, and generally the fullbacks do get a little bit of money, so look, 370, I think he's going to rise in value if he's playing every week, so I've gone with him there. For the backs that I'm starting off with, I've gone with Suoli'i, Cobbo, Rapana, and Chance, Nicole Klodstad. Now, this all sort of depends on whether I really am intrigued to see where Chance ends up playing. Obviously, Rapana, I think, is going to be the fullback for the Raiders, and that's why I've gone with him. I think he's going to get through a lot of work, and that's just purely because Savage is out for a while, and they don't really have anyone else because Chance is gone. So, Rapana is probably going to be the fullback for a good part of the season. It should rise in value, and then once he's gone for fullback, he's going to be moving to the wing anyway, so he's going to be in first grade. Chance, I think, very good value if he does play fullback. I think he can rise a lot. He seems to be one of these guys who he gets through a mountain of work. It's just a matter of whether he can stay on the park. And even if he's not fullback, I think he'll be in the squad somewhere, whether it's in the centres. But I'm really banking on him to play fullback. They've got a few options there with like Metcalf and all those sort of guys. Tamari Martin, I'm not sure who they're going to run with, but you have to say Chance wouldn't have signed for them for no reason, you know what I mean? Then we've got Suoli'i, 590,000. It is pretty pricey, but it's also not pricey compared to some of the other guys around. And I think he's going to have a big season. Last year was his breakout season. It was his first main season in the NRL. Same, really, what I'm saying about him and Cobbo is basically the same thing. Last year was their first main season, and I'm expecting better things from them this year. Cobbo, the Broncos, I think, look a little bit better. They have Reece Walsh at fullback, so he's obviously not going to be playing fullback. He's going to find himself settled on the wing there. But I'm thinking that Cobbo, I think he's going to score a lot more tries. I think the Broncos are going to be a lot better in general with Reece Walsh as the fullback. Therefore, kind of similar to the Roosters mindset, team's going to be better. You would expect them to score more points and just play better. So that's my thought process in terms of picking them, especially around the same sort of price range, 586, 590, very, very similar. Very similar players, but not similar at all, just in terms of positions and where the sort of sides are going. They're sort of going up, so gone with them. Harms, Matt Burton. 5'8", didn't really have a lot of star players. Went with Matt Burton because I think the Bulldogs are going to score a lot more points this season. He's the goal kicker. I think he's going to set up a lot more tries, score a lot more tries. That's basically the gist of it. Like other guys around his price range, guys like Jerome Luai and stuff, I feel like Jerome Luai is not going to get better, in my opinion, on Supercoach. I think he's going to get worse, to be honest. He's going to have less strike power out on that left edge. And Matt Burton gains basically what Jerome Wise had the past couple of seasons. So, I think Burton's going to go up a little bit. It's just, like I said, there wasn't too many options in terms of absolute stars, apart from like Munster and stuff. But, I've gone for Matt Burton. I think he's good value for money, just with the goal kicking and such. That's if he does goal kick. Flanagan can also kick. And I think probably some other ones can as well. But I've gone with him. And then halfback, I had to go Nathan Cleary. It could be risky. I was tempted to go Cherry Evans just based on trial form. I was thinking Manly probably look a lot better than what they did last year, therefore more try assists and such with DCE, but I'll just go with Cleary. I thought it'd stay solid. Let me know in the comment section below. Would Cherry Evans be a good one? I think Nathan Cleary is 841. I think Cherry Evans was somewhere in the 600s, I'm pretty sure, but he's someone I did look at. Moving on to the second row, this is where I wasn't really sure. I wasn't sure, like I said, generally I'd look at a guy like Jason Tamalalo and be like, yep, chuck him in there. Even back then, like Paul Gallen and stuff, like you had guys that you had to pick every time. James Graham, there was just ones that I was like, I need them. Now, new blood, new players, I don't really know who to go with. I've gone with Victor Radley, which is a risky one. I actually was going to go Tupanua, but I went Radley. I just think another year under his belt seems to, hopefully, I'm hoping he sort of reeled in a lot of the suspensions and such. That's the only thing with Radley is like he's out suspended so often, and if he's not suspended, maybe injured. But I'm thinking the Roosters going to be good this year, so like fingers crossed they do a job for me. So I've gone for Radley, 526,000. I'm hoping he does a job. And then we've got Hudson Young, which is someone who seems quite high for Hudson Young, but his stats must have been pretty good. And I think he's going to get through a lot of work for the Raiders. Raiders look pretty decent. Like, I think Raiders as a whole, as a team, aren't going to be as good as last year. But I think Hudson Young, as a player, I think he's going to be much better than he was last year. And obviously, last year he had a breakout year. You could argue that he should have been in the Australian side. So I think he's a guy who is, by name and by nature, is quite young. And he's playing quite well. And 704,000, I think he's going to rise a lot. As will Liam Martin, he's the other guy I've chucked in there. Just with kick-out going, I don't think he's going to get as good service out of dummy half, and that could limit things. But just in terms of game time, there's less competition. He is the main second rower now. He always had other guys. There was Capewell, there was Kickout, even Sorensen on the bench. He is the main guy now. There's no excuses for Liam Martin. He's the main guy. He's re-signed with them. They see a future with him. As to why I've chucked him in there, 558,000 for him. I think it's pretty good value because I think he's going to play a lot of minutes. I don't know if he's going to play more minutes, but I think he's going to get a lot more traffic his way. I think we're going to see a lot of good stuff from Liam Martin in terms of Supercoach. Then moving on to the front row, I've gone with Luke Thompson. I think he looked pretty good in the preseason. Obviously, it's been ravaged with suspensions and stuff, but he's playing in a better side. For the first time, Bulldogs actually have like a really, really good forward pack. And I think Luke Thompson's going to benefit from that greatly. He always looks like a monster. We know he can do it when he played for St. Helens. He's done it for England. He's also playing for a contract too, so I think that's going to help. But yeah, I think he's going to get through a lot of work. Pengai Jr. missing in the early rounds as well, so should be able to see how things go because it's Luke Thompson, Max King. Probably going to be the starters, Ryan Sutton in amongst things too. But yeah, I think Luke Thompson's going to have an improved year. That's why I put him in there. I think he's going to rise a little bit. Christian Welch, coming back from an injury, looked pretty good in the trials. He plays for the Storm. Everyone else has left the Storm, so I'm expecting Christian Welch is going to take a lot of the responsibility, probably get through a lot of work, and just do what Christian Welch does, play good footy. And I'm expecting him to rise in price a little bit. Then moving to the hooker, I have Harry Grant. I think he was the most expensive hooker. What is he? 816. He's not the most expensive in the game, but he's right up there. And with Brandon Smith going, there's going to be that less competition for the hook position. They don't really have a clear-cut backup. Like before, they could play Brandon Smith there. Now they got like Wishart and like Bronson Garlick and stuff. Guys who can, play a little bit, but you got to want Harry Grant on the field as much as possible. So I think he's going to get a lot more opportunities. Is he going to score as many tries and such? I don't know, but I'm going with him to start off the season. We'll see how it goes. Now, going through the bench, I'll start off with the hooker, which is Brandon Smith. He's also someone who's definitely going to be a reserve, but 478,000 for him. I think with how the game's going, with him being a regular starter, him being the main guy, I think he's a no-brainer. I had to chuck him in there. That's a very good value in my opinion. I think he's going to score a lot of tries, set up a lot of tries, get through a lot of work, get through a lot of minutes as well, because I feel like a guy like Connor Watson or someone might have been maybe coming off the bench, or Drew Hutchison, but I don't know. He's going to be the main guy, of course. Front row bench. I have Jesse Bromwich, who's just gone to the Dolphins, left the Storm. My thought process is that he's going to be one of the main guys. Dolphins probably aren't going to be scoring a lot of points, but he's going to be making a lot of tackles, making a lot of those runs. get through a lot of work for them. He is one of the captains as well, so he's not going to be in the side. So I think pretty good value there, I'm hoping. And then Stefano from the Tigers looked really good in the trials, looked much improved. I think he's in for a big year. So 319,000 for him was an absolute no-brainer for me. I think that's going to be a popular one, probably with everybody. Then we go into the back row. We have a couple of Parramatta guys there. I was actually so close to putting Josh Hodgson in as well as one of the hooker positions, but I'm just not sure about him. But for the back row, I've actually gone with Hopgood. He's come across from Penrith, I'm pretty sure, but he actually looked pretty good in the trials. Same with Dory. He's come across from the Bulldogs. Both look like they could be in contention for starting spots or at least some decent minutes in the rotation. Especially Dory, I think he's going to be really good. Dory. I should know I'm a Bulldog supporter. He was starting for the Bulldog at one point, got a bad injury, never really got back into the side, but looks to be a starter based off the trials with the Eels and predicted lineups and such. So I'm thinking he's going to be quite good. I think he was like an Australian schoolboys player too. Like he's got a lot of talent, that guy. So expecting a good season from him. And yeah, plenty of opportunity in the second row with Madison missing the first couple of weeks. Idiot Madison, I should mention. And then Jacob Preston is someone who the Bulldogs coaches are just raving about, players raving about, seen Willie Mason raving about him, fans are raving about him. He looks really good. He looks the goods. A lot of talk about him being a potential starter for the Bulldogs. If not, he's at least going to be on the bench. So I've gone with him at 200,000, guys. Get your hands on Jacob Preston. Absolute weapon. Then, 5'8", halfback, my backup. He can play 5'8" as well. I've gone with Katoa from the Dolphins. Young fella. Don't really know a lot about him, but a lot of talk. And just for the value, 216,000, he's got Milford to contest with, and there is a chance that they come out and they get smashed, which probably will happen. And then they go, nah, he's not ready for first grade. We'll chuck Milford in there. But I feel like it's worth the risk because he could come in and play quite decent. And at the same time, O'Sullivan's another guy who is his halves partner who is someone who I wouldn't say is a lock-in as well. Like, they have signed him, obviously, to come across and be the halfback, but I could easily see him getting dropped as well. I mean, they got Nikorima. They got a lot of guys who are quite similar. Milford, Nikorima. Like, I'm not really sure what their role is, but I'm pretty sure Katoa will at least be there round one, so we'll give him a go. Then we got Joshy Schuster in at 5'8". You can also play him in the second row. If you can find someone who can play second row at 5'8", swap him around. Probably won't find that. Schuster, super cheap. Was very injury prone last year is probably the best way to put it. A lot of talk about whether he's injury prone this year, whether he's lazy, whether he's going to be a 5'8". I don't know, but I think at some point, like, he's going to miss the first couple of weeks due to injury, but Schuster's going to be in the side, and I think he's going to be a lot better than last year. A lot better than what 241,000 says. And I know he's not starting, but whether he plays 5'8" or back row, wherever he does, he's going to be in the side. He's going to be quite versatile and valuable for Manly. Whether they go for a guy like Cooper Johns or whatever, doesn't really matter because, you know, might even be better for Supercoach if Schuster ends up playing in the forward. So whatever it is, I think you need to put Schuster in there. They're no lookers. You'd love to see it. But then we also got the outside backs. We've got Tyrell Sloan, Ruva, and Alamonte. A couple of cheapies there. I had to go for him. Tyrell Sloan, I think he's going to get the first crack. Doesn't have a lot of competition at fullback. Maybe Moses Empire. But apart from that, Tyrell Sloan is probably going to get given first go. Didn't really like the look of him in the trials, but you'd think he's going to find his feet at some point. And I think that's pretty good value for him. Taruva, definitely going to be in the squad for Penrith. Wing, centre, fullback. He's going to be in there at some point. And I think he's going to play in the centres based off the World Cup Challenge. Didn't really get too many opportunities, but he looks the goods in the World Cup and in reserve grade. So pretty happy with that choice. And then Alamonte, absolute weapon for the Dogs. Looked a lot more comfortable this year than he did last year. Very, very young. At 200,000, similar to Jacob Preston, you got to have him in. Got to have him there somewhere. He's gonna get you a lot of money, I think. So go with him. And then I already talked about Hayes. Hayes is there. Just pretty much just to make a bit of coin. Anyways, that's my Supercoach, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on my squad, on my side? Is there anyone I need to change straight away? Like I talked about Cherry Evans and such. A guy like Victor Radley, I'm not sold on. Obviously, a lot comes down to who gets named in round one, but yeah, I'm very excited for this Supercoach. I'm hoping it goes right. Hopefully my side's half decent. I've put some thought into it, so I don't just pick players willy-nilly, but obviously I'm no expert. But guys, let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on my side? Let me know your side. Is there anyone I need to chuck in there? Let me know. Anyways, I'm going to wrap things up here. Hopefully you did enjoy things. If you did happen to enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure you use the notification bell. Don't rely on sub boxes. Use the notification bell and never miss any of my videos. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and chuck me a follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke on my team for the most part. My Facebook, Mr. Luke, but everything else, including Snapchat, including TikTok, is Mr. Luke and White Hair. Give me a follow, give me an ad. I mainly use Instagram, so go ahead and give me a follow on that. But yeah, I'm going to wrap things up here. Become a member of the channel as well. Might even do a members exclusive league, so let me know if that's a thing. And just become a member. Support the channel a lot. You get exclusive things in terms of streams. You can talk to me a lot more. So yeah, I don't know. To wrap things up here, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya!